tell them suckers to move. I ain't in the mood. Got me with the crew, let me do what I do. I tell them suckers to poof. Got me in the booth, lobby in the truth. Let me do what I do. Yeah, remember when the U come through, enter the music jungle. Or back with the block, I used to rock, I used to rumble. I still rock, now I rock. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
And this is the OnlyFights Podcast.
Episode 13.
Episode 13. Welcome.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Not much.
Had a good weekend?
Yeah, not bad.
Good weekend of fights?
Not bad. Yeah. I was impressed with the boxing fight. It was real good.
Yeah, which one? On Friday? Or
yeah, which one was this one?
Navarrete
Joet Gonzalez and Emanuel Navarrete.
Navarrete, yeah. Yeah, that one, those guys went at it.
Yeah, man.
I didn't watch it live because they didn't start that fight didn't even start till like after 1 a.m, man. It was crazy. Like,
damn.
It was mad late. Like the card started at 11, in East Coast time. It started at 11 and they had 3 fights. And I was like, man, I can't do this, man.
Yeah.
So, I just checked out the main event in the morning. It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. Navarrete was relentless as usual. He averages like 70 punches a round.
Yeah.
And it showed in this fight, man. He
high volumes, what they kept saying,
he broke this guy's Joet orbital bone in the second round.
Yeah.
And Joet Gonzalez, he went the distance with Shakur Stevenson, lost, of course. And it really shows how good Shakur Stevenson is because, he didn't have this kind of fight. Man, this guy, like I said, he fought with a broken orbital bone since the second round. Left hook in the third causes a really nasty cut on Gonzalez's right cheek.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop him, bro. That, Mexican-American, man, he was game. He was fighting back, and he fought well. He hurt Navarrete in the fourth and won that round. But, the problem is, no matter how well he fought, he just couldn't really match Navarrete's work rate, man. Like, in the 8th round, I think it was, he threw like 90 punches. Like, that's insane, bro.
It was like every time Gonzalez landed one big punch, he'd come back with, another big, like 5 combo or something.
Yeah. That's how David Benavidez fights.
Yeah.
He just I'm going to get my shots in regardless.
Yeah, I was like thinking about, scoring a little bit, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how anybody's scoring this fight. Like, all those rounds seem so close.
There were a lot of close rounds, but I was giving him a lot to Navarrete. Like, I actually did have him winning pretty comfortably. But this was definitely his hardest fight.
Yeah.
In a while. He struggled. And I've seen him, he was complaining a lot to the ref about like headbutts, and
there was a lot of low blows.
There was, the low blows.
There definitely was. And it's funny because in the corner, like, I think maybe like after the first or second round, I hear, his corner tell him, Navarrete, his corner tell him the ref is for the other guy. And I didn't really know what he was talking about at first, but then it became pretty clear when he kept getting hit low. The ref wasn't doing anything about it.
Right.
And I don't know what the rule is in boxing. Like, do you get time? Like, if there's a low blow, do you get a certain amount of time?
You're supposed to, but like the referee has to basically issue it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit, right? Like, I think he
and the last one, that was crazy.
That last one, I forget what round it was, but he actually went down because of it, and the referee said, "Get up, or I'll take a point away."
Yeah, it looked like he almost started counting, like if he was like knocked down.
Yeah, I was like, damn, bro, that's kind of crazy. But I still can't get over, just like how crazy this fight was, like. Yeah,
no, it was definitely like a lot back and forth, and Gonzalez was putting the pressure on the whole time. He was going forward.
Yeah.
The whole fight, it was crazy.
Yeah, like I said, man, just coming in with that one loss from Shakur Stevenson, that just shows you how good he is. Because that fight wasn't close, but yeah, that was probably the fight of the weekend for me.
Yeah, definitely.
I had it. I had it 9-3. I have it right here. Yeah, 9-3. But it was closer. Like I could see like 7-5. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I definitely didn't think that Navarrete lost his fight. I don't think Joet Gonzalez did enough to take his title.
Yeah, definitely not.
But it was a slugfest regardless, man. It was fun to watch.
It was just the damage was the big difference. If you look at him, like, even though Navarrete got caught a lot, he didn't seem to have any damage on his face. And then by the end, that swelling in Gonzalez's eye was real bad.
Yeah,
I think he was cut on the other eye as well.
Yeah, man. It was a good spirited effort, you know, for Joet Gonzalez. I think a lot of people are gonna be interested in seeing him fight again. I know I am.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely a fan of both of these guys now.
Yeah. So that was that.
That was fun. That was fun to watch.
The DAZN card wasn't as action packed. Mikey Garcia taking on Sandor Martin. I can't believe that Mikey Garcia didn't win this fight, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was Sandor Martin was a 10-1 underdog. I mean, he's the number one fighter out of Spain, but he was the number one fighter out of Spain.
Yeah, I don't think I can name another fighter out of Spain.
And he's like 15th or 16th in the world ranked. You know, he's a southpaw. He fought off his back foot all night and actually gave this 4-division champion problems, man. And it's crazy because Mikey really does well against southpaws. He's really technical. And he has one of the best trainers in the game, man. His older brother, Robert Garcia, you know, who also trained guys like Abner Mares and Chino Maidana and Nonito Donaire. Yeah, man, it was only a 10-round fight. And Mikey did have some ring rust, but you know, what looked like a slow start just turned into, I don't know, man, a lack of a proper game plan or you know, didn't train for it or what. But
yeah,
you know, he looked good, like physically. Like I don't think, you know, that was a problem. It almost kind of seems like, you know, with all of his inactivity, I think when I was watching it, they said he had 7 fights since 2014. You know,
that's not that many.
Like that's basically a fight a year.
So was his last fight the loss against Earl Spence?
No, his last fight, even though that is what I said, his last fight was against Jesse Vargas at 147. A fight where and that's another thing. That fight, I remember, I think it went the distance.
Yeah.
He won, but I think, you know, we expected him to take care of business, you know, just like in this fight. And he didn't. And not only that, but he lost, man. It was
that's crazy.
A very, very big upset. Even for like Mikey's circumstance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know where he goes from here, man. I you know, back to the drawing board, I guess. But
yeah, how old is he?
33.
Okay,
not that old. But yeah, man. You know, shout out to Sandor Martin, because he's from Spain.
Yeah,
yeah, man. You just beat a former, I'm gonna say former pound for pound fighter, because he's definitely not pound for pound after that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only upset on the card. You had Jonathan Gonzalez taking on Elwin Soto for the WBO junior flyweight title. And Gonzalez, man, he kind of the same thing, man. You know, he was backing up a lot, fighting off his back foot, and got the decision.
Mm-hmm.
It was a split decision, but it was 116 and 112 on all 3 scorecards. So I was like, yay. Shout out to him, Puerto Rico. We got one. You know, got a title.
That's what's up. What weight class was that?
I just said it. What was it? Junior featherweight? Junior flyweight. I'm sorry. Junior flyweight. Yeah, little guys. But yeah, good stuff, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm still like baffled. Like, I'm still thinking about this. Like, yo, Mikey Garcia fucking lost to this guy, yo. Like,
that's crazy.
And no disrespect, you know, he fought brilliant. He fought great. And he was willing to trade and engage with Mikey. But I'm just like, bro, you know, he was calling out Regis Prograis. He was calling out Josh Taylor. I mean, wow, man. Like, yeah, that's insane, man. You know. this guy, he shouldn't be losing to no Sandor Martin. No offense, but
yeah,
it's just like I said, man. I can't get that out of my head. How crazy that is. Like,
that's crazy. They said they had fireworks ready to go off, right?
Yeah, real rap. Like, you know, this was supposed to be a tune-up fight for, you know, from him coming off this long layoff, and, you know, kind of giving him a chance to look good and get back into the swing of things, you know, with these new fighters. And
sounds like you might have underestimated him a little bit.
Either that or he just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That every time I see Mikey Garcia, he's always doing like anything but like training, or he's at the barbershop, or he's over there, and you know, you know, you can kind of question where his heart's at, and I hope he gets his head back into the game, and you know, he's a great fighter, you know, so.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be back. He'll be back.
Man.
Was that it for the boxing?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I got some other things to talk about for like future events, but if you want to rock with the UFC card.
Yeah, the UFC card. I mean, it was alright. It wasn't anything too exciting. The main event was Aspen Ladd and Norma Dumont. So remember, Aspen Ladd was stepping in late notice. She missed weight, you know, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Holly Holm had to drop out of this fight against Dumont, I guess because of injury. So Aspen Ladd, you know, steps in. There's a weight class above where she normally fights at, but, you know, she has the weight issue, so I thought this would be pretty good for her. But, you know, she wasn't able to do much. I think she's used to being bigger. I think she's used to being bigger than the girls. And she, you know, she wrestles a lot. That's kind of usually her strategy. And she couldn't do anything. Dumont was just, you know, she pretty much put on a clinic like with her jab, which is jabbing, keeping her at distance. Mm-hmm. You know, hitting her with 1-2 was like real technical, real like basic shit. It looked like, you know what I mean, like, and Aspen just couldn't get close to her.
So it's kind of like the story of like last week's main event, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm. Nice.
Pretty much. So she got the 5-round decision. I'm excited to see Dumont fight Holly Holm. I think after when she was talking to Bisping, I think she said in the post-fight interview, she was saying she suggested that she fight Holly for interim featherweight championship because Amanda's about to defend the bantamweight. Yeah, she's about to defend the bantamweight one, so. She proposed that, which I don't think is a bad idea. I've always said I wanted to see a Holly Holm fight Amanda again, so you know that kind of sets her up for that.
Right.
If she was to beat Dumont, so I think that's a good idea. I don't think there's you know too many other fighters in the featherweight division. Aspen Ladd didn't look very good in it. She'll probably gonna go back down. Did you see any of this at all? There was like a little bit of a controversy in her corner, like the way they were talking to her. It was like even like Bisping mentioned it the one time, like the way her corner was talking to her, he was like, yeah, I agree with the words, but I don't agree with the delivery. Like they were like really like talking down to her. Like I was like kind of a little uncomfortable listening to.
Oh, wow.
Like cursing at her. Like he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like he was like, you ain't doing shit. He's like, if you want to win this fight, you gotta finish. You're down 3-1. Like the whole time he was telling her, he was being honest with her, but he was being really like aggressive.
Whose corner was that?
Aspen Ladd.
Wow.
Because she was getting beat up the whole fight. And, you know, I mean, they were just telling her what to do, and, you know, she couldn't do it, obviously. And, yeah, it was a little weird, a little uncomfortable to listen to. I do remember a fight, though, that Aspen Ladd had, that her corner, like, was talking to her like that. And they were pretty much, like, she was losing the fight, and they pretty much told her, like, last round, like, you have to get the knockout, you're going to lose, or whatever. Yeah. And she, like, went out and got the knockout, and, like, it was, like, went viral, the whole thing. It was a dope moment. So I don't know if maybe that's kind of her thing, like, that's the way she kind of needs to be talked to, you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, but...
I don't think that's, I mean, you know, the fight game is, like, mostly mental, man. So, like, I don't know why you would play with that, but... Yeah, I mean,
but everybody's different. Like, you know what I mean? It could, like, something like that could be possible, but this is why I'm not a big fan of them shoving the cameras in the corners. As much as, like, you know, I would want to, you know, we want to hear what's going on. I'm not really a huge fan of that, like, because of things like that. You know what I mean? That can be taken the wrong way. This coach can be getting ripped apart. You know what I mean?
In today's day and age, I see what you're saying, but
I don't think that's happening because this wasn't a very big fight. But like if this was like a bigger fighter or a bigger moment, I can see something like this guy getting, you know, in today's day and age, I can see him getting fucking torn apart on social media because of something like that.
Yeah, but then again, it's like it's fighting, so it's like
it's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm genuinely curious when I'm watching a fight what the corner has to say. So like, yeah, don't get rid of that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a little weird. The co-main, Andrei Arlovsky, Carlos Felipe. Arlovsky got the decision win. He looked really good. I mean, by the end of the third round, or pretty much the whole third round, he was tired as fuck, and you can tell he was just like trying to survive. Yeah. But the first 2 rounds, he did a good job moving, throwing like calf kicks. You know what I mean? Throwing punches, staying at distance. Like Arlovsky is good, but I think at this point his chin is just kind of weak. Like he seems to get knocked out pretty easily. But he did a good job of just completely avoiding the big punches, and you know, was able to get the decision. It was pretty good decision win for him. The one before that, Jim Miller versus Eric Gonzalez. Jim Miller is 38 years old, and he has the most UFC fights in history. This was his 38th UFC fight. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So, you know, this guy's fought everybody. Like, you name it, he's fought everybody. It's crazy to see him still out there. He looked good. This was a fun fight. It only lasted like barely 2. You know, it was like a round and a couple seconds. But the first round, Eric Gonzalez, never seen him fight. You know, up and comer. I think this might be his first UFC fight. He looked good. He actually hurt Jim Miller. He hit him and had him wobbled a little bit, and then Jim Miller was able to kind of like get a takedown after that and recover. They got back up, and then at the end of the round, Miller hits Gonzalez and wobbles him, and then he survives. You know, pretty much saved by the bell, survives. And then first round starts, and like, you know, right away, 14 seconds in, he catches him with a left, like just flush, and he just drops straight down. Nice. Like he went like out cold. Like it was crazy. Like he didn't go, like his body just fell straight down. Like the way he got hit, it was crazy. Yeah. And yeah, real impressive win for Jim Miller. I think they said it was his first knockout since like 2011 or something. Wow. So that's crazy. I'm sure we're gonna see him fight a few more times. He's only 38. He's not as old as some of the other guys. Like, there's guys in their 40s. Like I think Arlovsky is like 42 or something. And that guy's pretty active. Like I think this was Arlovsky's like 3rd fight this year. So you know, that's pretty impressive to see these older guys still going.
I think the older you are, the more active you want to stay. Like,
yeah. And I think Jim Miller said in the post-fight, he said he wants to be the only fighter that fought on UFC 100, 200, and 300. He said he's trying to hold on to fight at UFC 300.
That's dope.
Because he fought at UFC 100 and 200.
Yeah, that's dope.
So that's still quite a while away. Yeah. That's still at least a few years.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple of years.
Yeah, so we'll see if he's able to do it. But yeah, that was dope. That was a good win for him. The next fight, it was Manon Fiore as a French prospect. They said this was her second UFC fight, and her first one, she was the first female French fighter to get a win in the UFC. She fought Mayra Bueno Silva, Brazilian fighter. That chick is a savage. That fight was actually really good, but you know, Fiore dominated pretty much the striking. Like she also has a very high volume. Was throwing a lot of punches, a lot of kicks. Bueno Silva didn't seem phased by any of it, but she was getting pretty much getting picked apart the whole fight. But she was going forward the whole time, you know, putting on the pressure. You know, they're saying that Fiore looks like it could be a upcoming challenger for Valentina, even though, you know, it's kind of way too early. Yeah, it's kind of early to say that, but there's literally like no one else in the division. So anytime there's a decent prospect, they're like, oh, this must be the next one. But she looked good though. She looked like it's definitely impressive. Like, she looked sharp. You know, looked like she had good cardio. Like she lasted all 3 rounds, was throwing high volume. Bueno Silva just couldn't get anything going really. She took a lot of damage, but was still pressing forward. She was all busted up by the end. She was like bloody nose. She had cuts. But yeah, Fiore looked good. excited to see her fight again. Flyweight division. And then that was pretty much it. The other fights weren't too exciting. Yeah, that was the fight night pretty much. What else we got?
Oh, you know what? At that Mikey Garcia fight, they had Devin Haney there, and they were like interviewing him, and he was trying to get a fight with Jojo Gonzalez because Ryan Garcia broke his hand or something. He got injured. So
he had to pull out of that fight.
So he had to pull out of their fight, which I forget the date, but it doesn't matter anymore because Devin Haney was trying to not exactly take the spot, I think, because I think the fight was supposed to be in November, and he wants to fight in December.
Yeah,
Devin Haney. So it would be on another date, but I think that would be a good fight. Although Teofimo Lopez was also in the building for that. So and they got into a nice little scuffle argument, and I don't know exactly what was said. You know, there was just a lot of like back and forth and yelling.
Yeah, from both their camps and everything.
Right, and the dads were there, and
is that a possible fight that to be made or no? Like how realistic is that?
It should be like. So yeah, okay. So Teofimo Lopez, you know, his fight now with Kambosos is gonna be on DAZN.
Yeah.
So now he's working with Eddie Hearn. But Bob Arum is his promoter. So and that's the thing. It's just gonna be a working with Bob is always like so difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why we always seemingly hate when fighters sign the top rank. But the fight should happen. I don't see why not, especially considering there's this big dispute over Undisputed, the irony, and because Devin Haney has a belt.
So he's the one that has the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only other one.
He has the WBC belt, and
Lopez has the rest.
Lopez has the WBC franchise title, and that's just a whole complicated mess over like who's the champion.
Yeah.
We really should have recognized Teofimo Lopez because he's the one who beat Loma, you know, and Devin Haney just was kind of gifted the belt.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he really even fought for it. But anyways, I think I would definitely I definitely wouldn't mind watching Lopez versus Haney, but I think the fight to make would be Haney versus Jojo Gonzalez. I'm sorry, Jojo Diaz. Yeah, because you know Teofimo Lopez has to fight Kambosos, and you know, like Haney could fight Jojo Diaz, and if they both win, then that would be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they should do, and that would be the setup for Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney whenever the freak Ryan Garcia could come back. You know, because this is 2 fights in a row where he pulled out.
Yeah.
You know, first with the mental health, and now with this. So,
how do you expect him to come back? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's sad, man, because it's like you do gotta respect his last fight. Like,
yeah,
he took on Luke Campbell, and
that's when he got knocked down.
He got knocked down in the second round, got caught, got dropped. It looked bad.
Yeah,
it looked really bad, and he came back up and he stopped him, man. So I don't even think Lomachenko stopped him. I think he won a decision.
Yeah.
And he was giving Lomachenko some problems. So, you know, you got to respect that. But he didn't capitalize off that. You know, kind of like how Teofimo Lopez can capitalize off his victory.
And inactivity seems to be like the thing that, you know, kind of affects all the fighters.
Yeah, and like
MMA and boxing.
COVID is one thing, but, you know, injuries and I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to criticize Ryan Garcia. Like, I hope, you know, that he can get it back together and stay healthy mentally, physically, and get back in the ring soon because
Yeah, word.
he's supposed to be one of those the new crop, of guys.
Sure.
So
Definitely.
yeah, that's that. But like I said, man, I wouldn't mind seeing the JoJo Diaz fight with Devin Haney.
While we're on boxing, did you see the some of the controversy talks about the Wilder Fury fight?
Which one? There's always controversy surrounding those two guys, man.
So even in the last one, they kind of talked about the long counts. I remember them saying that in the second fight, at the end of the round when Fury got knocked down, they said that he got a long count, and that's why he was able to get up.
Yeah, in the first fight.
Oh
right?
yeah, you're right. In the first fight. And so I was watching a Joe Rogan clip, and he was saying the same thing. How in this one, that so some of the counts seemed long. When Fury got knocked down, he said specifically the one he started counting, and then instructed Wilder to go off to the neutral corner, and then came back and started counting where he had left off instead of looking at where the guy on the ringside was and following where he had kept counting. That's what Joe Rogan said.
Yeah. No, I seen that. I don't know where these people I don't know where these people get this idea.
Yeah,
from.
he said that he had, or on the clip he pulled up an article that was about Cormier saying it. I think on ESPN because he has some ESPN thing now.
Yeah. So all right. So check this out. What he was saying is it's kind of true, but in the way that he was talking about it, it wasn't true. When a fighter goes down, a referee has to instruct the fighter who knocked him down to go to a neutral corner and make sure that he remains there. And once he does that, he then looks at the timekeeper to see where the time is at. And that's where he picks up the time. Yeah. That's why when a referee calls a knockdown, he usually doesn't start at 1. He usually starts at 4 or 5 because that's about how long it took him to instruct the other fighter to go to the neutral corner. But once the referee starts counting, the timekeeper doesn't continue to count.
Yeah, that does make sense.
That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, because the fighter who's down, they have to hear the count.
Yeah,
they have to hear the whole count. You can't skip numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think what happened was, I remember that Wilder left the neutral corner.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
That's what I was gonna ask. Did he I was gonna say, did he forget to tell him to go to the neutral corner, or did he come? Did the Wilder?
I think because I remember he was still.
I don't remember how that happened.
He was still he was hurt. If you remember, so Wilder went down in the third, he was hurt, and in the fourth, he that's when he hurt Fury.
Yeah.
But he was still hurt, and not 100% there.
Yeah.
So I remember when he knocked him down, he was he was strutting, man. He was on some cocky shit.
Yeah.
And I think he was just moving around, and then he kind of just walked to the other corner, and that's when the referee basically said, "Yo, you can't do that. You gotta go back to your corner." And so that's Wilder's fault. Wilder basically interrupted the count.
Yeah.
And the referee has to go back he has to resume where he last left off because the fighter has to hear the count. You know what I mean? You can't just fighters usually stay down until 7 or 8. You don't want to get back up too fast because you might not have your legs. You might think you have your legs, and I've seen that before. Zab Judah versus Costa Zoo. Look that up. You know what I'm saying? He gets knocked down, and Zab Judah swore that he can come right back up. And he gets back up and then just falls face first. And he was still good, but he just didn't have his legs, and the referee waved it off. And
just got up too early.
Exactly. So what you should do when you go down is stay down until the 6, 7, 8 count. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if a referee's gonna not get man, it just doesn't make any sense, man. Fury got up at the count that he was allowed to get up at.
Yeah.
If the referee would have kept counting while he was instructing Wilder and he heard him counting, once he hears the 6, 7, 8, that's when he's going to start getting up, regardless of when he hears it.
Yep.
So if the referee gave him extra time, that's because Wilder, wasn't in the neutral corner.
Yep.
Like he should have been. So Yeah, I mean, controversy, man. Come on, man. And even in the first fight, when people talk about the long count, it's a 10 count. It's not 10 seconds. It's not, pull your timer out
Yeah.
and start. Like, that's not how it works, man. It's a 10 count. And referees just kind of go off.
It's his decision. Just like it's his decision to not count all the way to 10, now he can just decide it's over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a good job that he didn't, because,
for
Fury
sure.
fought back and he fought hard and that's
Won
what
that round.
Like it evened it out, I think. Right.
Well, at least in the first fight, I mean.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. To me, like, it bothers me that Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier, like, because it's like, yo, you guys are like pillars of the combat sports world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know exactly what the rule was, but Joe was saying it like he knew exactly what the rule was.
yeah, and it's like, no disrespect, but you're an MMA guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have some knowledge gaps in boxing, so like you can't just talk about it. And again, with the platform that he has, and he's a god to some people, man.
Yeah, his influence is crazy.
Some people, they get on their knees the first thing in the morning and they pray to him. I guess it's insane. So it's like, yo, you gotta be careful with what you're saying, bro. I don't care what you're saying about the vaccines and the coronavirus, but be careful what you say about boxing, man. That's important information, man.
Word.
Nah, man, but yo, I'm still upset that, like, I gotta pick between which one I want to watch, but the Canelo fight and the UFC 268 both on the same day.
I'm pissed I'm not gonna be able to watch the Canelo fight. I'll probably have to. I'll most likely see who won. Yeah, they'll probably be going around. They'll probably be going around at the same time.
Nah, but that's gonna be a good day, man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Fucking.
Well, I guess while we're on 268, what was it? Luke Rockhold. I guess they already have it down. Luke Rockhold was also on the main card. He was fighting Sean Strickland. Luke Rockhold pulled out. I guess he has some kind of injury. I think Luke Rockhold's had a good career, and I think he should probably hang it up soon. Like, he's had his last couple of fights, he's got knocked out pretty viciously. He even tried going up in weight, that didn't work. So he came back down. He's getting knocked out pretty good. So Sean Strickland's up and comer. He's good, man. I'm excited to see him fight. I think I saw Gilbert Burns tweet that he wanted to step in that fight, go up a weight class to 185 and fight him. He usually fights at 170. That could be a fun fight if Gilbert Burns takes that. But yeah, this card is super stacked, man. Usman, Covington 2.
So he doesn't have an opponent yet, Strickland?
Strickland, not yet. Not that I know of, not yet. Hopefully they find him somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usman, Covington 2. Rose and Wei Li 2. Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, man, that's gonna be I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
And Frank Yeager, Marlon Vera, can't wait to watch Cheeto fight. That's gonna be dope. They announced Jorge Masvidal is gonna fight on the UFC 269, and then Charles Oliveira is gonna defend the lightweight title against Dustin Poirier.
Nice.
That should be a good fight. I think Poirier could probably gonna beat him, man. Poirier's like, he's on fire right now. He's like, staying active. Like, you don't see him, letting the fame get to him or anything like that, or the money get into him. He seems focused. I think he's gonna, I think we're gonna look back and, Poirier's gonna be a little under. We're gonna realize he was a little underappreciated. I think.
Yeah.
That guy's a beast. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Oliveira wins. I think he can definitely. Obviously, anything could happen. I think he can pull it off. But Poirier seems so well rounded right now. Like his boxing and on the ground. I mean, Oliveira's known for his jiu-jitsu, so that'd be interesting to see them grapple. And then, like we said earlier, Amanda Nunez is defending her bantamweight title against Julia Pena. it's gonna be interesting. You know, Julia Pena, I'm sure, is gonna try to wrestle her. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then Jorge Masvidal and Leon Edwards. This is fights like 2 years in the making. This is the infamous 3-piece in the soda.
Yeah.
Backstage fight.
Yeah.
Which back then I didn't even know who Leon Edwards was, which is crazy.
Leon Edwards, he just took on Nate Diaz, right?
Yep, he's the one that fought Nate Diaz. Leon Edwards has been like a title, or has been like one really good performance away from a title fight for like the last 2-3 fights, but it just keeps like not happening.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that last fight with Nate Diaz, Nate pretty much stole that fight in those last 5 seconds where he hurts Leon and doesn't, you know, he doesn't go in for the kill, but like he rocks him and like points at him like, I got you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Leon's like fucking wobbling, and that shit was crazy. Nate pretty much stole that fight right there, man. That was crazy how that happened. But, you know, Leon got the win. So they actually fought the same opponent, right? Jorge Masvidal fought Nate Diaz too, but I think it was stopped because of cuts. I think like second or third round, but he was beating him up. I think that was a really bad matchup for Nate Diaz. Jorge was fucking him up.
Yeah, that was a BMF shit.
Yeah, that was the birth of the BMF title.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is gonna be a good fight, man. Leon Edwards is that, you know, he just doesn't take a whole lot of risks. You know what I mean? He's like real technical, like he's well rounded. He has like, I think he's like on a 7 or 10, like some crazy win streak, like 7 to 10, somewhere in there. He's beat a lot of people. His last fight or his last loss was to Usman like years ago. That was his last loss to Kamaru, the champ. And he's beat everybody else, but he just doesn't do it very flashy. You know what I mean? He's not really a power puncher, and he doesn't put himself in, you know, he doesn't put himself in a whole lot of risk. So this should be a fun fight, though. I think Jorge gets him. Man.
Oh, yeah?
Jorge, I mean, I guess we'll see. Jorge's coming off 2 losses to Usman. Obviously, the last one was his first time he got knocked out. It was a pretty vicious knockout.
Yeah.
Which I still can't believe how that happened. Like, I was so surprised in the way it happened.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was weird. Like, Masvidal said that he thought they were going to wrestle more. And that's really what it looked like. It looked like he wasn't expecting him to throw punches like that. Like, it was crazy. He was kind of leaving himself out there. And, I mean, he also said that he didn't feel his power in the first fight when they fought. But Usman is, like I always say, Usman's just getting so much better. Like, he really has been, like, since he fought Masvidal to, like, the second time, obviously, like, he had, like, 2 fights in between, so. And Masvidal was also a little inactive because he didn't fight in between those 2 fights. He fought Usman back-to-back, basically, but Usman had, like, 2 defenses in between.
Yeah.
So, like, the inactivity again, especially, like, after he had, like, kind of went into his peak. You know, Jorge reached his peak, like, 2 years ago, and when he had those big knockouts, and after he beat Nate Diaz. And then, it kind of got fucked up because that title shot that he got against Usman was a short notice fight.
Yeah, right.
So that sucks, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of was what fucked up his momentum. He should have got the title fight with the full camp, and then who knows what would have happened. But then, you know, Usman went on and got better, and then he just, you know, had the vicious knockout. Jorge's one of my favorite fighters. I can't wait to see him, to watch this, but, you know, he definitely needs the win.
Yeah.
And then they added Cody Garbrandt. Kai, is that how you say that? Kai?
Yep.
Kai France. Cody Garbrandt. He's going down to flyweight. Yeah, I think he's trying to get a title shot at flyweight, which the flyweight belt was supposed to be on this card. I think literally like the Masvidal and Leon fight replaced it, and so they moved the Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo fight to UFC 270. That's not on here yet, but I think that's gonna be January.
What's next week?
Next week is Paulo Costa and Marvin Vettori.
Nice.
Doesn't look like anything too exciting on the undercard, but that should be a good fight, though.
And Costa hasn't fought since Izzy, right?
Yep, he hasn't fought since Izzy, and same with Vettori. I think his last fight was with Izzy.
Oh, right. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, Costa got knocked out, and Vettori got beat by decision, so we'll see how that works out. That should be a really good fight. Cool. And then 267 is the free card on ESPN Plus. Well, if you have ESPN Plus, it'll be free.
Yeah.
Jan Blachowicz defends lightweight, heavyweight belt against Glover Teixeira. Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen. It's gonna be a great fight. Makachev and Hooker is gonna be a great fight. We see this guy finally, the Russian guy Kazmat Chimaev. He had all the hype behind him. He like caught COVID real bad and like was like saying he was gonna retire and shit.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really stacked card for something that you don't have to pay for, man.
And they're like back to back weeks, I think. 267 is October 30th, and then I think it's the very next week.
Yeah, yep.
Is 268.
So check this out. That Costa fight, Costa and Vittoria, yeah, that starts at 4, the main card. So that's awesome because
is there boxing that night? That's probably why then.
Jamel, wait, actually, hold up, the 23rd. Yeah. So Jamel Herring takes on Shakur Stevenson for the WBO junior lightweight title, and I mentioned Shakur Stevenson as one of Joet Gonzalez's, his only loss at the time. This is gonna be a good fight, man. Jamel Herring, I think he's like a Marine from a Marine veteran, Olympic gold medal. Both these guys are Olympic medalists. I know Shakur Stevenson got the gold. I don't remember what Jamal Herring got. I might have got the silver, but yeah, man, this is gonna be a good fight. Lightweight as well, 130 pounds. So yeah, that's next week. I don't know who's on the undercard.
What's that fight gonna be on? ESPN as well.
ESPN Plus.
All right, yeah. That's a free one as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Word.
Let me see if they have the undercard here.
Yeah, so that main card will be at 4, and then the boxing's at what time?
I don't even have it here. It doesn't say it on here like it says it on there.
Word.
But it would most likely be like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I hope it's not freaking 11 o'clock like the Navarrete fight was. But this is in Atlanta, so that's East Coast.
Yeah,
time,
that's for East Coast.
But yeah, man, this is gonna be a good fight. I just can't see Shakur Stevenson losing. Like, I don't know if Jamal Herring has enough to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
He's bigger guy.
Right.
He's pretty big for his division, actually. But I gotta rock with the kid from Jersey, man, Shakur Stevenson. Like, I think he's from Newark. I don't know where Jamal Herring is from off the top of the head, but that is next week for boxing. So I'll make a full prediction. I'll make a full prediction for that fight. But and then as you said, or no, not the next week, the week after that, but that would be the November 6th. That would be in boxing. That would be Canelo versus Plant. Yo, dude, I still don't think they have a undercard for that.
Who's putting that fight on?
Oh, so for next week, okay, all right. Let me take this back. So next week, Jamel Herring, Shakur Stevenson, main event. Co-main, you got prospect of the year from I think 2019, Xander Zayas taking on Dan Carpentier, and you have Nico Ali Wash on that card as well. He is the grandson of Ali, of Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the week after that, you actually have Jose Cepeda taking on Josue Vargas. That's
nice.
That's a decent fight. Undercard doesn't look too crazy. Also on that night, well, during the day for us, because it's going to be in London, but Dillian White taking on Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin giving Tyson Fury a rough one.
Yeah.
So that will be the 30th, yeah. Let me see if they have... Dude, they do not have an undercard for the Canelo Alvarez-Caleb Plant fight. And that's really... I'm tired of like promoters thinking they can just give us one fight and charge us pay-per-view. Like, those days are over, man. Come on. Like, you gotta give us a card. I had a friend tell me that they didn't want to pay $80 to watch Wilder Fury fight. And I said, I wouldn't do that either. Like, you're not paying for one fight, dude. You're paying for the whole card, And like when I try to sell these fights to people, and I'm like, yeah, man, you should check it out, and it's like, bro, like, I'm not gonna pay that much money for one fight. Give me an undercard, and you're trying to sell this fight. I understand Canelo Alvarez is Canelo Alvarez, but bro, give me the undercard. Show me something, man. That's really frustrating.
Yeah, and you gotta use that platform, use that moment to build other fighters, build the sport. Especially the UFC does it so well. Like we just talked about all these stacked pay-per-views that they stacked cards they got coming up. Yeah, I don't know. They definitely got to do a better job of that. Yeah. I mean, the Wilder card we talked about did good.
Yeah, that was a good card, and even this free card is good.
Because I feel like a lot of times the average fans, they don't even think about the other fights, really.
I think Top Rank is good. I think Matchroom is good. And the thing is, I don't want to point the finger, but like I do see that mostly with the PBC fights. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And the Wilder Fury was, it's half Top Rank, half PBC. But I would hope that they would shut me up with their... Oh, they don't have one. Come on, man. Same thing with the Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight. Although that's also ESPN Plus and... I'm sorry, Top Rank and PBC. But there's no... I'm trying to sell these pay-per-views. Like, I'm trying to, like, sell these fights. Like, telling people to watch them. But it's like... It's just one fight. Like, come on, man. Show me the undercard. I know you guys got one. I know you're not just going to air one fight, It's really frustrating.
So you think there probably will end up being other fights they're just not promoting them at all?
I mean, there has to be, like... I don't know. It's just baffling to me. Anyways, November 6th, Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant, undisputed super middleweight championship. November 20th, just 2 weeks after that, Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter. A lot of questions about Terrence Crawford in the 147-pound division. Hasn't really fought anybody. So this might be his tough test.
Yeah.
And those are the two fights that we're looking forward to. Javonte Davis, I believe, is going to fight Rolly Romero.
Was there something going on with him this week?
Who?
Javonte Davis. Fuck, I forget what it was. I thought I read something about him. I don't even remember what it was. My bad.
No, I mean, I'm not sure, but it's looking like he's gonna take on Rolly Romero in early December, which I think is a fun fight, but I don't think it's a pay-per-view worthy fight.
Yeah.
So, and I don't see that fight lasting long at all. Tank and 4.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him fight again.
Yeah, man. I just not even excited to watch or to pay the pay-per-view money, especially if you're not gonna give me good undercard, man. Y'all gotta give me some better undercards, man. Like Wilder Fury had a great undercard,
Yeah.
Give us good undercards, man. Come on. If you're gonna make us pay all that money,
Make it happen.
Make it happen. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man, for the boxing.
Yeah, I don't think I got much else. I think that's about it.
For the UFC and shit and MMA.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Well, we thank you for tuning in for episode 13. Until next week, my name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
And we out.
Peace.